All right, guys, welcome back to another week of Big Tasties Supercoach videos. Interesting week, not the worst actually. Scored 2,000. I don't think many people will be scoring 2,000 this week. I think a lot of people are going to be in that 1,900, 1,800 range. Just some couple bad scores from a couple of big Supercoach names. Off the top of my head, I don't think there was any major injuries. Yeah, I can't remember that. But yeah, just a couple of bad scores. We'll get into that in a minute, though. Let's have a look at the team. All right, we've got the defense, which was mediocre. I wouldn't say they were bad. I'd just say they were a bit under where they've been the last couple of weeks. You got, what's that with Doherty? 49. This was kind of just like a... last week wasn't good. His score was in 80s? Yeah, 89. All right. It wasn't good, but this week was just a bad game. It's not going to happen consistently. I do expect him to be back at that, like his average is 109. He's pretty much going to score that all year, right? Nothing to be alarmed about. No one should make a, sudden trade and get rid of him. Actually, I forgot what reverse trades. Hold on. That was just me checking how money works. I'll go on to why I made those trades in a minute. Maynard, 89. It was all right. It was kind of just the way the game was working, like the way the game flowed. He didn't have much of the ball. Plus, he got stuck on the bench for a lot of time. I think he ended at about 80% time on ground. It couldn't have been much higher than that. But yeah, he just kind of got stuck on the bench. Yeah, and then the fact that Hawthorn didn't really attack all game. Maynard just couldn't touch the ball. Sicily, 132. This was the Hawthorn not attacking. It was just, kicks along the back line. Sicily ended with like 14 marks. That was huge. And it's pretty much what won me the matchup this week. Him and another player. Yeah, that was a really good game, but I don't see it actually repeating itself. I think Sicily does stay. His average is 97. I think he averages around 103 to 105 this year. Definitely not in the 110, 120 range, which is like what he'd be at if he kept scoring 130s. Ridley, 111, a good game. A big first half, which is kind of normal for him now, is easily the best kick Essendon has. The fact that other players were like sprinting to take the kick in away from Ridley, I think that was a mistake and something that Essendon should really look at. But Ridley played fine. Second half kind of just cooled down a bit, but that was just the whole game kind of came down a bit. In the second half. Starcevic and Williamson, the rookies. Starcevic is really close to getting dropped. I could see it happening this week. Brisbane have GWS. I could see them dropping him. I hope not. Just because it's an extra rookie for a lot of people. If you saw before, I'd trade him out. I'll get onto that in a minute. Williamson, 47. Pretty good game from him. He did get hurt in the second quarter. He had his ankle taped up and he was on the bench. That was a bit of a worrying sign, but then he did come on later. So there was that. And he moved up from 21 to 47 on an injured ankle. Hopefully he doesn't miss any time, because if he does, that's a major issue with no playing rookies on the bench. I did read a report that Rivers did not travel with the Melbourne football team out of Victoria. So that means if he was to go up, he'd face problems at the border, first of all, and then he'd have to isolate for 2 weeks. I'm not sure how true those stories are. That was just kind of like a, during game chat, people talking about who they want to bring in, who they want to trade out. That topic was brought up. I do have to look into it a bit more to see if that was true, because if it was, that's very worrying. Because that means he's a dead rookie. 166, unless there's a 117k defender that comes in, that's pretty yikes. What's he going up in total? Like 40k? 48. That would really suck if that's the situation with him. But Brander, I don't see Brander coming in this week against Freo. I think at West Coast stay unchanged. They won last week, and it was won this week. I don't know. It was a pretty good win. Everyone played all right. Shuey's out for, I think, another week. I think so. Unless Brander comes in for like Jared Cameron or something like that, I don't see a change. So that no play in rookies. I have to hope Williamson is fit. Midfielders, pretty good week from the midfield. All but one player missing the ton. All but one tunning. Dangerfield 146. Easily, like there's not even a shadow of a doubt. That was his best game of the season. He looked a bit fitter that game. Like I've been making fun of how he kind of just looks unfit this year. 146. He had a lot of touches. This really could have been even higher. Seeing if it shows his stats. No, it doesn't. He was, I think, 1 goal, 2 behinds. I think that was it. This definitely could have been higher. This could have been in the 160s, which would have been huge. This is I think the first week he's gone up in price. Yeah, up 28k. I think this is the first week he's gone up. Maybe finally he makes it look like makes me think I don't hate Dangerfield, the pick of Dangerfield. So that could have been Neil, which sucks. McRae 138. The Lockie Hunter return saved McRae. A lot of people were like, do I trade McRae? Is he just not good this year? Now, I had said it a couple of times. Just wait for Lockie Hunter to come back. Hunter will play like that wing midfielder role. And then McRae will go back into the actual stoppages and stuff like that. Get the ball, get his touches, get his points and stuff. It's starting to happen now. He'll go back up to his 120 average. It'll be fine. Oliver 106. To be honest, the 106 came from out of nowhere. I don't think Oliver played that good. He had a pretty good second half. I think it was his third quarter, which really picked up his points. I don't think he really deserved a 106. I've been watching Melbourne games these last 3 weeks. Oliver really has an issue. He's not an elite midfielder. Melbourne really have an issue with their midfield. It's probably a topic for a discussion video, but Melbourne could really use some help. I don't think Oliver is their best midfielder. I don't even think he's in their top 2. But yeah. Bontempelli, 116. Huge second half. He went from being tagged by... Damn, I can't remember now. But he was tagged. I'll see if... Ed Kerno was tagging him. He was keeping him low. It was in the 30s at halftime, either 20s or 30s. To end at 116, he did beat his break even. It was only by a bit. His break even was 109. I was really hoping he'd beat it, because then you don't beat it, it goes up to in the 190s, and then we have an issue. Yeah, that's fine. 116. I would like a little bit higher. I'd like in the 120s, but I mean, I dare you to say no to a 116. Cripps, 56. He was hurt, but I think next year I'm not starting Cripps. This is the, I think, second season in a row he's just gone down at the start of the year. Look, it's almost lost 100k. That's a lot of money to drop. So I think next year, I'm not going to start Cripps. So look, he has the good couple of rounds. That's the first two. Then there's the price change, in between here. These couple of games here, not too good. I think next year, don't start Cripps. Wait for the price drop and start Neil. When next year's Supercoach comes around, I'm putting that around every wall in my room. I'm posters up, start Lockie Neil, because at this rate, I don't know how I'm getting him in. I did have a plan, but that plan's kind of going to shit now. We'll have to have a look at it week to week. Whitfield 111, pretty good. That's why people were racing to trade him in. I guess the 111 kind of offsets Raul being there, but if Raul was there, that's an extra 100. That's what sucks. But there's another Gold Coast rookie which looks really good, and I'm a big fan of. We'll get to that in a minute. McInerney didn't play. I thought he was going to be a late in. I was hoping he wasn't. I did think he was going to be. Just didn't end up doing it. This is going to be a case to look at. He should come back. I don't think he played that bad in his stints of playing. I don't think he was horrible. Who else does Sydney have? Josh Kennedy's been injured, so does that open up McInerney returning? I hope so. I could use a little bit more price gain on him. We did take the McHenry score. It was kind of a McHenry or Pickett, and then, sure enough, they scored the exact same, so I didn't lose anything on that. I think, okay, what's... This is going to be a change at 10 times during the week. All right, got McHenry playing last, Richmond playing Saturday. We'll just get Pickett on. Why not? Going to change it 110 times before the weekend. The Rucks, they played good. Grundy just didn't look into that game. I think Collingwood were having it too easy against Hawthorn, and Grundy just wasn't trying that hard. But then again, it was McAvoy, and McAvoy is playing defender. So maybe he can now defend Rucks. I don't know. It's nothing to worry about. He is dropping, and he's only 2.3k. I thought it was a bit more than that. It's not bad. The forward line was pretty bad. This is what I had on field. I still won this week with this forward line. That's insane. Simpkin looks like a star. Was definitely worth the 450k I paid to bring him in. I think he was around that. Can't remember, but I think 450k. That's about what I brought him in for. Definitely worth it. Dusty. Here's another thing. Next year, I'm not starting Dusty. I don't care what his price is, what his dual position is. I'm not starting him. Look, this is horrible. 79, 81, 66. No, that's bad. I'm not starting him. And Devon Smith, this sucks, but everyone has him, so it's not that bad. It'll be interesting to see who trades Devon Smith out this week, and if he becomes not so high of a ownership percentage player, you know what I mean? If he becomes a pod, then that's an issue, because if he spits out a 68 and he's your game-changing pod in the final game of the week, you're not going to be happy. So it's definitely a thing to look at. And if it gets to kind of the second half of the season, leading into finals, and I have an extra trade, I would trade Devon Smith out. Sure, he goes up in price from here. I don't think his break-even was that bad. He has gone up 58k in total. I don't know, that's an interesting case. Alright, Curtis Taylor hurt his face. I think, it was Shield banged into his face. He's getting a x-ray for a fractured cheek, I think it was. Hopefully he's not hurt. Hopefully, because I mean, Sturts rolled his ankle. That's not good. For the moment, I'll have Pickett on field, but I really hope that's not an injury. I really do. Arts was bad. He is a Richmond small forward, which is kind of setting up for failure, but I did expect a bit better than 28. That when that happened, the first thing I went to was checking McHenry's game history and seeing what did McHenry score. McHenry's was 17, not 28. I thought it was about the same. So that's the forward line situation. I'd definitely like to get an upgrade in. Basilenka is the target. Hopefully I can swing Max King into him or Pickett possibly, but that would take a bit more money and I don't think I'd have that much, considering I want Neil in the team. Is at this point, it's going, does Neil make me lose the week or does Neil make me win the week? And since he only scored 130 and not 160, that's what won me the week. It's kind of just how it is. He's really on track for the best Supercoach season of all time. When you consider shorter quarters and his average and stuff like that, that's insane. Yeah, the forward line's interesting. All right, we'll get into trades. Starcevic is out. He's got a break-even of 93, which means once he scores 30 again, which he's probably going to do, let's be honest, he's not that good, he's dropping a fair bit of cash. Now, the only way I don't trade Starcevic here... No, I have to trade Starcevic. Unless the lineups come out and Brand is playing and Starcevic isn't, and then I put Brander on field and I just wait a week, this is another player I want to bring in. Alright, here's the super tough decision this week. Seeing that Starcevic is a defender, and I didn't move him into the midfield last week, which I should have done. That's my bad. I should have done it. I should have at least moved Rivers into the midfield. I miss out on one of Simpson and Rankin. I've decided that I'm going to go with Simpson because Rankin's a forward and I'm just hoping he doesn't have like another 3-goal game. I just pray on that. You know, he doesn't rise 100k and go up to like 230. Then I can't afford him. I really, really hope that doesn't happen. But for the defender, I'm going to be bringing in the Hawthorn player. There he is, Will Day. From the press conference afterwards, someone did ask about Will Day. Again, I don't watch press conferences, so I'm going off online chats and stuff like that. I would scroll through Twitter and stuff like that while the game's on to see what people are talking about. And they said that Clarko's a big fan of Will Day. He's like, yeah, he played good. I'm not, dropping him after one game. He'll be back in the side and he'll play consistently. I'm thinking of like Scrimshaw last year. Scrimshaw was mediocre at best, but he played a lot of games. So hopefully that's the same thing that happens here. So that's going to be the one trade we do. And then we've got to bring in either Simpson or Rankin. If my advice for this week is get both of them, but I can't, so I'm bringing in only one. And I'm going to trade at Tyler Brown for now. It's pretty much whoever doesn't get named. If neither get named, I'm just going to keep it how it is. But I think... I don't want to trade out Tyler Brown, right? Because if he doesn't play, his price isn't dropping. And 232k, that's a fair bit that you could add on and bring in a promo. Get lowest price. Actually, I should just go by average. What's he averaging? Why is it showing me Dan Houston? Oh, because I still overset to defender. Never mind. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, he's not going to drop much in price. So, say you want to bring in a Premier, you could kind of. He's good for like a 1 down, 1 up week. But as it is, I'm bringing in Simpson. I'm just going double downgrade this week. I need the money because there's a lot of holes to fix in this team. The way we're looking, we've got 3 more upgrades in the forward line, which is going to be a disaster. I think the forward line is the weakest position this year, and I don't think it's close. Defense isn't great, but players like Maynard showing up this year it's really helping. I think the 6 you want in defense, like ideally, would be Doherty, Maynard, Sicily, Ridley, Lloyd, and Haynes. I think Haynes or Caleb Daniel. That's kind of like your 50-50 there. I think that's the desirable 6. I don't think there's anyone that I'm forgetting about. I could bring in one of them this week, alright? This could easily be an upgrade. I'm still thinking about it. I'm also thinking of take out Brown. I move Dusty to mids or something like that. And I bring in Bailey Smith this week. I'd really like to, get a nice extra price drop in him. He drops to closer to the 400k line. It would be a bit better. They're the trades we're going with for right now. Whether they stay that way, who knows? But this is the current situation on trades. Make sure Simpson's on the field. I'll field Simpson over Pickett. We'll go with Pickett for now. Yeah, that's just kind of the situation. I wish I could improve this forward line. Like, this is bad. 66, 68, 61, 15. I had a 15 on field. That's really not good. If we go... Oh, yeah, I won the matchup. Kind of just one off. Sicily 132. The Danger... Oh, no, Danger was the common. So it was the Sicily and the Gorn captain. Goldstein finally didn't have like a huge game. That was pretty good. And the McRae 138, that helped at the end. That was kind of just increasing the margin I won by. Not too big. See if it loads up. Right, we got Luke this week. Let's have a look. Oh boy, the whole team's unique. Love one of these matchups where these are the weeks where everyone scores bad on my team and everyone on his team scores crazy. Put money on it. Bont scores 55, Dangerfield 40, Oliver gets dropped, Cripps doesn't play. That's the type of week this is going to be. Just looking at it, I think this is a win. I mean, Jaden Short's interesting this year. Zorko, hopefully Zorko doesn't do what he did last game. Got Toby Green, he's got Neil. Everyone has Neil. Damn it, why didn't I start him? Sheet and Gaff. Hopefully Gaff gets... No, Freo don't tag. What am I thinking? Oh, this is going to be a bad week. I can already see it. I think I lose. I don't want to lose here. I want a bit of a win streak. Oh, well. It is what it is. Alright, well, that's about it for this week. Till next time, I guess. Big Tasty out.